Greetings, AcePreps here, and today I'll be showing you my top 5 survival and prepping books. Let's get started. Number 5 is How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It, Tactics, Techniques and Technologies for Uncertain Times by James Wesley Rawls. This is an excellent guide to basically everything disaster preparedness and worst case preparedness related. To be honest, it's fairly extreme. If you follow the entire book to the letter, it's basically focused on making your entire life as disaster-proof as possible. And for many people, me included, that is not really feasible in our current lifestyle, in our current situation. But it's nonetheless a very good primer on what you can do in order to make your life as disaster-proof as possible. And a lot of the steps can even be followed if you're not intending to move onto a countryside retreat full-time, for example. The second book, number 4, more of a survival book, is Bushcraft 101, a field guide to the art of wilderness survival by Dave Canterbury. If you don't know Dave Canterbury, you're probably very new to the survival scene because he is basically probably one of the best people in bushcraft in the entire world. The guide gives an excellent introduction to bushcraft, to everything about living in the field, thriving in the field, so not only surviving but actually living long term. Has some very good introductions, a lot of very clear illustrations as well. If you want to just head out into the bush, also in a non-survival situation, and just live there for a while, that is an excellent guide to have, as well as, of course, for survival itself. The third book, so my third most important survival book, is The Unofficial Hunger Games Wilderness Survival Guide by Creek Stewart. I've included this on the list because it is a very basic introductory wilderness survival guide. So if you are trying to get somebody interested in wilderness survival, or if you're just starting out yourself, this is an excellent guide to have. For those of us who are already more advanced, it's fairly basic, but it still gives a lot of good introductions. Also, once again, has a lot of good illustrations and basically covers all your bases in terms of wilderness survival. Book number 4, my second most important survival/prepping book, is a prepping book, also by Creek Stewart, Build a Perfect Bug Out Bag. This is exactly as the name suggests, a very, very comprehensive and detailed guide to building your bug out bag. Everything from food, fire, shelter, water, tools, to making your entire bug out plan, to basically as well just a general primer on disaster preparedness that is much more accessible for regular people and less extreme than, for example, what we have in How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It. I've built my bug out bag a lot around this book. It's really an excellent guide. I've read it multiple times already, and it contains a lot of very valuable information. Now, for my favorite and most important survival book, you probably all already know this, the SAS Survival Guide, How to Survive in the Wild, on Land or at Sea. This is the pocket version. It's barely bigger than a cigarette pack. It's an absolutely great book, has a lot of illustrations, a lot of explanations, goes into incredible detail in terms of wilderness survival. And a lot of people even carry those in their bug out bags to just have a general reminder or primer on survival and to be able to look up different things if they need them. It's very small, it's rather lightweight. It's not a lot lighter than the bigger books, but because it's such a thick brick of paper basically, but it's very compact, it's very small, you can pack it, and it has an incredible wealth of information up to literally identifying single plants, for example, which is one of the main uses I would carry it for, because of course you can't remember every plant, for example. Those are my top 5 survival/prepping books. I did not include any links in the description if you want to get them. either order them on Amazon, or if you can, get them at your local bookstore. They're probably already struggling enough. And if you have any more suggestions, any ideas, any experience with different books that you would also have included on the lists, leave them in the comments down below. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.